السلام عليكم ورحمة الله جميعا، مرحبا بكم في الحلقة النقاشية للبيانات ونتائج النصف الأول لشركة مسقط للتمويل. نحن ممتنون لوجودكم اليوم ونتطلع إلى المناقشات مثمرة وأسئلتكم القيمة. أود أن أقدم لكم أولا زملائي من الإدارة التنفيذية. أولا الفاضل حسين بن علي اللواتي، رئيس تنفيذي لمسقط للتمويل. الفاضل راجيش بنزال، والذي انضم مؤخرا إلى مسقط للتمويل في منصب المدير المالي، والذي يتمتع بخبرة قيادية لأكثر من 20 عاما في الشؤون المالية، بما في ذلك أدواره السابقة كمدير مالي في عدد من المؤسسات المصرفية المعروفة في المنطقة. كما يحمل مؤهل محاسب قانوني من الهند وعدد من المؤهلات العلمية والمهنية الأخرى ذات علاقة من الولايات المتحدة الأمريكية. والفاضل بونيت، رئيس قسم المحاسبة، مدير قسم المحاسبة. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to the management discussion for Muscat Exchange. Your presence today is greatly appreciated. Our experts and colleagues are here to share insights on important topics. We look forward for productive discussion on your valuable questions. First, I would like to introduce for you our CEO, Mr. Hussein Ali Al-Lawati, and our newly joined CFO, Mr. Rajesh Banzal. I would like to give a brief introduction about Mr. Rajesh. He is a professional accountant with over 20 years of leadership experience in finance and banking sector, including his previous roles as a CFO of well-known banks in the region. Mr. Rajesh is a chartered accountant from India and certified from the USA and other relevant professions. And Mr. Puneet, head of accounts. The mic is yours, Mr. Rajesh.
Thank you, Ali. Thank you for your kind words. And thank you everyone for joining this interactive session. First of all, I would like to thank the management and the board of Muscat Finance to provide me with an opportunity to serve as the CFO of Muscat Finance. I'm very excited to add value to the company and all its stakeholders. Oman as a country and Muscat Finance as an organization is new to me, but I am proud to be a part of the growing economy of Oman and to be associated with the first NBFC in Oman operating for 36 years. I can see the various initiatives of the government of Oman and the Central Bank of Oman, which is going to be very positive for the economy and for the finance and leasing sector in Oman. The half-yearly GDP numbers and the growth forecast were released yesterday by the Ministry of Economy, which are very encouraging and optimistic. After the disclaimer, I would like to just briefly, immediately jump into the agenda. As you know, okay, I would like to first start with the agenda. I would like to cover the below points as you see in the slide. I would like to give a small overview of the Oman, its economy, and the landscape for FLCs. I shall briefly cover the Muscat Finance history, our position as of June 2023, our financial performance for the 6 months ending June 2023, our strategy going forward. Further, I would conclude the session with questions and answers, wherein myself and our CEO would try addressing all your queries. Now, coming to Oman, the overview of Oman, the outlook of the economy and the landscape of the FLC in Oman. All of you know that Oman is the second largest country in GCC with a good population base of 5.1 million and a very stable political system. The GDP at current price is approximately around $106 million, forecasted to grow at a rate of 2.3% in 2023. The Vision 2040 is playing a major role in economic diversification and private sector partnership, with non-oil sectors contributing more than 69% of the GDP. Considering the fiscal consolidation measures by the government of Oman with significant debt reduction, Fitch has recently upgraded the credit rating to BB+ with a stable outlook. The positive trend of fiscal surplus continues in 2023 from the previous year, supported by the high oil prices and the government's control and expenditure. The Central Bank of Oman is also supportive of the growth of the finance and leasing sector in Oman and has issued a new circular recently to allow all the FLCs to conduct additional business activities. The scope of lending has increased and certain relaxations have been granted for investing in locally listed corporate bonds. In Oman, there are a total of 5 FLCs with 40 branches, which are complementing the various banks to serve the financial market. Now, I'd like to just give a small brief on the history of Muscat Finance. You all know that we are the first NBFC in Oman, established in the year 1987. And we have come a long way to serve our customers to various innovative products. We are listed on the Muscat Stock Exchange and follow the highest standards of corporate governance required for all listed companies. We are the pioneers of various products in the FLC space in Oman, and in fact, the first NBFC in Oman to launch corporate leasing and debt factoring. I would like to mention that in the current year, we invested in a new office building, which will improve the visibility of the company and provide the best working atmosphere to all our stakeholders. Now, I would like to just give a small glance of Muscat Finance as we stand in the month of June 2023. You all know that we serve our customers through 6 branches in Oman and have a net asset base of around 95 million Omani Riyal. We have a strong net worth of 38.5 million Omani Riyal, which is approximately 41% of the net assets. We have a very diversified funding base of more than 55 million. Our leverage ratio is at around 1.74 against the cap of 5 from the Central Bank of Oman, which is the second best in the industry from risk perspective. We promote the national vision of Oman through significant Omanization and development of the local workforce. Our coverage for the non-performing loans is at around 71%, with a total provision of Omani Riyal 28.1 million. Our board and management have considered the new circular on additional business activities from the Central Bank of Oman, and we are actively evaluating it for the introduction of new products. Now, I would like to give you a small brief on the performance of the company in the 6-month period ending June 2023. You can see on the screen that our total assets have remained flat with a small decrease of around 3.4%. We have taken a very conscious decision to be conservative while growing our asset book, considering the current market environment, especially the small and medium enterprises whom the FLCs serve. We as a company would like to diversify our lending, and our focus is on growing the retail asset book, which are always small tickets and take some time. We are pursuing the corporate growth strategy on a selective basis to have a very high quality exposure. As you can see on the liability side, we have been able to pay around 3.3 million of bank borrowing in the last 12 months. This is through the cash we generated from our business while maintaining a very diversified deposit base. In the 6 months, we have achieved a net profit of Omani Riyal 590,000, which is despite a significant increase in the cost of funds in the market through a conscious reduction of our various operating expenditure. I would like to further mention or highlight that we have a consistent NPL coverage ratio of more than 65%, which is one of the best in the industry. We have the second lowest leverage ratio, which is at around 1.74, and the second lowest cost of funds in the industry, which is at around 6%. Now, what is our strategy, or basically the way forward from here? The board and the management, we are looking at growing our asset book, but we want to do it in a very responsible manner. We want to focus on growing our retail book, wherein the average ticket sizes are small, and it leads to a much diversified exposure. We want to also add selective good quality corporate exposure with high collaterals, or which you can say good quality of collaterals. As mentioned in my previous slides, we are already evaluating the central bank circular for the introduction of new products in the market. Liquidity risk is of prime importance, and we are always trying to diversify our various sources of funding. You can see that we have kept our deposit base constant, and further, we have repaid a good amount of our borrowings. In our portfolio, we see a strong potential for recoveries from our non-performing book, and we will continue investing in the collection and the recoveries efforts. Our focus is to provide the best-in-class customer service, use technology to enhance customer experience, and invest in the talent acquisition to provide the best services to our customers. This is basically the balance sheet extract which is there, which we have published for the half years, for the 6 months. This is the detailed income statement which is there, which has been already published for the 6 months period ending June. With this, I'm done with my presentation. Now, I open the floor for any questions. Myself and Hussein, our CEO, we will try to answer all the queries that you may have.
Okay, thank you for your presentation. I have a question. Can I ask?
Yes, Mr. Nofali, can you just introduce yourself, please?
My name is Nasser Nofali. Okay, so I have a question, 3 questions. First question, will you give any dividends in March 2024? First question. Will you be able to give any dividends on March 2024? And second question, to merge with another company, like for example, United Finance, because we heard some rumors like this. And third one, was there any possibility, for example, to reduce your capital to make it more profitable? Those 3 questions for now. Thank you.
Okay, let me first give you, or let me make an attempt to answer your first question, which is on the dividend, and then I will leave the remaining 2 questions to Hussein, because he has been in the market for long, and he can confirm whatever the market rumors which are there. Let me first answer the first question on the dividend. Now, I'll go to this slide, basically on the balance sheet. Now, we can see here that the total equity of the company is 38.8 million in the period ending June. We have an accumulated profit, and till last year, we had accumulated loss. Now, the question is whether we can declare dividend. By looking at the balance sheet, I can say, okay, I can declare dividend. But again, there are a lot of requirements, or there are regulatory requirements which have to be fulfilled for the purpose of declaring dividends. I cannot give any assurance for the period ending March 2024. We have another 3 months which is pending in front of us, in which we are going to give the best performance, or we will try to achieve the best performance. However, the proposal for recommendation of dividend will be considered by the board, and it will always have to be in light of the regulatory requirements. Means if we fulfill the regulatory requirements, we will be able to declare a dividend. But again, everything depends on what happens in the next 3 months and whether we are able to meet the regulatory requirement for the purpose of declaration of dividend. I hope I answered your question on the dividend part. Now, on the other two questions, which is about the market rumor of merger with United Finance and for the reduction of capital, I will request our CEO, Mr. Hussain, to answer these two questions for you.
Thank you, Rajesh. Assalamu alaikum. Mr. Nofri, thank you for your questions, and thank you, Rajesh, for covering whatever was asked for. About the rumor, Mr. Nofri, about the merger, these things are considered all are rumors and talks until there is any official announcement comes from CMA. As Rajesh mentioned during his presentation, that Muscat Finance is one of the companies who basically follows the corporate governance in a very transparent and very strict manner. If there is something, such kind of things is going on, definitely Muscat Finance will have the declaration. And I assume United Finance are also equally disciplined in terms of the corporate governance. They would have announced or given the public thumbnail. There is nothing is on table from at least for what we speak about, something to be put and discussed about. And as and when if there is something is coming up in such matter, definitely we will be announcing, doing some declaration about it. So that's on the merger side. And on the reducing capital, I don't think that is an option we kept in our mind for the time being. And as Rajesh mentioned, such decisions we will review how the regulatory requirement to be met, some of the ratios, and we will review how the year-end performance happens. And if there is any requirement is there for any such kind of adjustment, we will consider for the benefit of the stakeholders and the shareholders. That's the best I can highlight to you, Mr. Nafli.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Mr. Nasser, for the questions. If you have any question, any other question, please raise the hand so we can accept your question, see what's the possible answer we can give it to you. Any other questions?
If there are nobody, I can ask. I have another question, please.
Please, Mr. Nasser, go ahead.
One more question. Did you sign any liquidity provider? Because now in the current in the market, there's some liquidity provider, for example, United Security and Obar Securities. They provide the liquidity, because what we saw in the market for your share is really attractive, and but no liquidity in the whole market. But I think it will be a great opportunity for you to sign agreement with those companies who can provide the liquidity to the share, so share can go up to more level. And is there any opportunity for the company to get to same profit of 2018, 2000, before at that time company was Muscat Finance was really amazing at that time. Is there any potential opportunity to back to those golden days? Thank you.
Maybe I'll just try to take these questions. Now I'll answer the second question first, which is basically the profitability of the era of 2018 or 19. Now, the business was really doing well in the past because we had a lot of new businesses that we booked. Now today, whatever the provisions that we are, or basically the losses that we had some in the last maybe year back, is primarily because of a legal case which is there, which was unfortunate. The company was expecting a positive a decree on that. However, we were the court allowed the customer to claim the amount, and accordingly, we had to book that loss in the last year. As you see, the profit of the current year, yeah, we are at around 560,000, 590,000, and we are positive for the remaining part of the year. But going back to the previous levels, we are trying to be there, but what time frame we can be there, that's a question which is there. We would request our shareholders to be patient with us. You have trusted in this organization for last 36 years, and we are confident that we will be able to pass through these turbulent times wherein the cost of liquidity in the market is very high. The SME exposures primarily on a market-wide basis is not doing so well. We feel that there is some bubble in the market. That's the reason we are taking a very conscious stand. We don't just want to grow our book in an irresponsible manner. Today, if we want to book an exposure, it's very easy to book. You can raise the liquidity from the market and we can book the exposure. But we want to do it in a very responsible manner. That's the reason you can see, if you compare us with the industry is growing, but we have been flat. The reason being that we want to be conservative. We want to grow our book in a very responsible manner. That's primarily on the first question, which is whether we can go back to 2018 levels. Yes, we can go, but we would need some patience from you all. And we are slowly progressing, and hopefully the way the board and the management is investing in the people, in the talent, I believe we will be able to provide a best quality service to our customers, and we will be able to reach that position in some time. Now, coming to the next question, I will again request Hussein to help me on that, to answer the other concern which you have.
Thank you, Rajesh. Akhoy Nasser, thank you for your question. I think we came across those liquidity boosters in the market. Basically, I think there's some discussion came on high level to us as a management only, but I think it's a decision to be reviewed and finalized. I think we've been not favorably considering it yet, but it's something it's being reviewed at the management level. If that would be something adding value to our stakeholders and remains within the regulatory norms, we definitely are up for any opportunity which will basically be a value added to our shareholders. But to be very transparent, Mr. Nasser, it's something it's not concluded, and it is not on the agenda for at least short-term basis.
Thank you, Mr. Rajesh. Thank you, Mr. Hussein. Anyone have any question? So no one have any questions. So I'd like to ask the permission to close the discussion. Thank you, everyone, for attending the discussion. And soon, inshallah, we will do another discussion at the end of the year, and we will meet, inshallah, again for more questions, inshallah.
I have. Can I ask the last question?
Yes, please.
Yes. How did you see your third Q? There is this positive. I know you're not allowed to say numbers, but how do you think you can compare? You're doing well in third Q.
Yeah. Now, as you know, that we are not, as being a listed entity, it's not within our domain to disclose the performance. But you have seen the performance for the last 2 quarters, and you can make out from there how we have been doing. As I mentioned earlier, we have been conservative in our growth strategy, considering the market scenario. We have been diversifying our sources of liquidity. In fact, today we are one of the, you can say, the second largest, the company which is having the second lowest cost of funds in the FLC space in the market. We are having the highest NPL coverage. Therefore, we will continue on the same trajectory which we have done in the past 2 quarters. However, on the numbers, I will not be able to say much, and we would request your patience for the next, you can say, next 1 month or next 30 days, or I think before 30 days, whereby we will be able to give you our Q3 numbers.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All the best, all the best.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Nasser. Thank you, Mr. Rajesh, for the answer. Anyone have any other questions? Seems no one have any questions, so I would like to take the permission to close the discussion. Thank you everyone for attending the management discussion, and soon inshallah we'll see another management discussions at the end of this year, and we'll have more discussions inshallah. Thank you a lot everyone.
Thank you, Ali. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ali.
Thank you
Ali.
so much.
Thank you everyone for attending the session.